The reason why most men are single today is because they don't understand the art of being respectfully direct. They will go out to the club and they will look at a girl from across the bar, and instead of going up to them and saying their true intentions or like how they truly feel, what they'll do is they'll just continue to look at them across the bar and they'll leave and go home with their friends and talk about how there were so many cute girls at the bar, but nobody really talked to anybody because everyone was too afraid to be able to even try and give someone a chance to make a connection with them. But by learning how to be respectfully direct, you're able to go after the things that you truly want and say the things that are on your mind without having to worry about that gut feeling about somebody not liking you. Because in order for you to truly be respectfully direct, you have to be able to say things that like potentially somebody could not like. And the only way you can do that is by getting used to the fear of rejection. The fear of rejection is something that I feel like every single person has and can connect with because as we've evolved back in like the caveman days, if you were to get kicked out of your tribe because you couldn't connect with the individuals within there because you couldn't follow a rule or you were just disrespectful or whatever it was, you would be left out and you would most likely die. But as we continue to grow older, the people who are able to face that fear of rejection, A, come out on the other side and realize that like it was nothing but just a mirage around what they thought would happen. And most of the time they find out on the other side that they found a new group of people that fit the same exact beliefs that they did in life is a lot better. But also, it allows them to be able to continuously chase after things that they want without having to spend half of their attention trying to make sure every single person likes them and dance around the truth and different things like that. And they can just go directly after the things that they want. And so, the reason I say this is because I have learned this the hard way. Like, I remember whenever I would first get into sales, I would hop on every single call and be so afraid of the person on the other screen not liking me. And because they don't like me, they wouldn't end up buying. And like every time I would open up the Zoom and I would see that little thing pop up top when it was like, this person's waiting in their waiting room, my hands would start to sweat, my heart would start to race and like my mind would immediately be like, how can I get this person to like me? What if this person doesn't like me? Like, I have to be perfect and all these different things. And it distracted me from what I truly wanted to be able to achieve, which was help that individual be able to realize if this is something that they want or something that they didn't. And what it did was it just made me lose so many sales. And it wasn't until I hired a mentor to be able to watch my calls that I realized I was even doing this. It was just something that I just naturally did because I was so afraid of people not liking me. And I remember I was on a call with my mentor, we were watching one of my calls, and maybe 5 minutes in, like not even enough for us to get in like the meats and gravies of anything. He pauses the call, he takes off his glasses, it kind of wipes his face, and he's like, Malachi, the person you are on these calls is nowhere near the person that you are whenever you are off these calls. Why? And I was like, I don't know, dude. And he said, it's because you're so afraid that these people will not like you that you decide to kiss ass instead of actually do your job. And that statement just kind of hit me like a truck because I never really even thought of it. Like I just was like, oh, I guess that makes sense, whatever someone brought it to my head. And the crazy thing is I did like a complete 180 after this call. Like I started hopping on calls from then on, just being a complete dick. I was way direct, way more direct. I was saying exactly what I thought at every single point in time. So if somebody told me something that didn't make any sense, I would be like, yo, what are you talking about? And believe it or not, this actually improved my sales a little bit, not much, but it improved my sales. But it also made me feel icky every single time I got off a call. And taking 6 calls a day and having to show up as a dick on each and every single one of them, it starts to eat at you. And so that's whenever I started practicing what I now call being respectfully direct. And what this means is it allows you to listen to the things that somebody says and get a full understanding around their point of view, but still be able to say the hard truth or what you are thinking at that point in time without being afraid of the other person's feelings towards you back afterwards because you said something that you truly believe and that you meant. And so like being able to do this in a sales category or like within dating or when you're talking to your friends or whatever it is, it's like it makes people trust you way more because now they never have to guess what you truly mean. Like we've all had a friend that feels like they connect with everybody and like every time someone says something they find a way to be able to say yes this is true, and it's like you don't really know what they really believe because they kind of just make themselves fit into whatever it is that the person who is speaking is saying so that they can somehow like conjure up some type of connection with them. And it's like when you do this, you lower the trust that people have with you because again, they don't know what you truly are thinking at that point in time. And so like, for example, one thing that I say that some people do not agree with me with is there is zero reason why someone should be so fat that they are not happy with the way they look in the mirror and then do zero things about it. Just like be like, oh, well, like this is what it is, and then continue to stuff their face. And like every time I say that, it pisses off some people and it makes some people be like, yeah, that's true. But it's like, I know when I say that, some people are not going to agree with it, and I am completely fine with it, and I will continue to say it because it's something that I truly believe. I believe that getting off the couch and taking care of your health so that you can show up better for your family, for your work, for the people you care about, like it's like that is so important. And for you to just say, nah, you're not only failing yourself, but you're failing the people that you're put on this earth to be able to impact. And I can say that confidently because I have thought about this and I have come to the conclusion that when I say it, I mean it. And other people cannot agree with me. And that is completely fine because everyone has their own opinion. And like the flip side of this is it's like if somebody wanted to challenge that statement, I will listen to them and I will hear everything that they have to say. And I may not have to accept it, but I will respect it because every single person is entitled to their opinion. And that just because it's their opinion doesn't mean it's fact. And it's like the same with mine. Like some people can look at it and try and poke as many holes in that and say, like, oh, well, like, being fat shaming is not okay and stuff like that. And that's not what it is. I'm not saying I'm fat shaming. I'm just saying I don't believe that it's healthy and the right way to be able to live your life. And that's completely fine if people don't agree with me because not everyone has to. But you can only get to that point by A, meaning what you say and not like saying something and putting it out into the earth and being like, oh, actually, I take this back whenever like somebody has a problem with it. If you are proven wrong, you should have enough dignity to say like, "Oh, well, I changed my opinion because I learned this information and I've continued to grow." And so it's just like being able to master this skill allows you to feel A, more confident in the things that you say, B, more confident in the person that you are, and C, be more confident in going after the things that you want because you know if you say it and you are going to do it, like it's your word, like at the end of the day. And the last part I want to touch on is it's like I was talking to my girlfriend very recently, and I essentially told her that what I've noticed with every woman either I've dated or I've noticed other people date or just like women in general is it's like what women really want is to have a man that says what they mean and does exactly what they say they're going to do so that they don't have to guess whether this is truly what they mean. Like it's like if I say I'm going to do this and she expects it to be done. Like it doesn't make sense for you to say, "Oh, I'm going to do this," and then you don't do this because that's where friction comes in because there's a gap in between what you say and what the truth is, and nobody wants to live in that gap. And by learning how to master the art of being respectfully direct, you never force yourself into that gap because you say exactly what you're going to do and exactly what you mean at all times.